I passed my real estate, or I'm wanting to get a career into real estate. What do I do? How do I leverage my relationships? How do I make money matter? How do I make this business work? So the objection for this class, at the conclusion of this lesson, you'll have a pretty clear understanding of the career in real estate, list activities to ensure your success, and give you kind of some proper tools and support to help you keep moving forward. So now that you passed your test, again, even if you're an experienced agent or you've been doing it for a while, but you just want to make sure that you're moving forward, a lot of the stuff that you learn in this class, a lot of the stuff that you learn going through this booklet is stuff that you're double checking your foundation to make sure that you did your foundation correctly in the beginning, and just constantly tweaking your foundation. So anything you hear, take it for a grain of salt. Just know that we are trying to build a level foundation first. In order to get here, so you can follow along, I kind of see Ben over there going, where are we?
Well, I know I need to be on a specific website, and I don't feel like I'm on there.
So in order to find this, we go to hubbellrealestategroup.com. Okay. On the bottom of Hubbell Real Estate Group, you're going to see on the very bottom, it says training and events.
Okay.
And under training and events, once you log into training and events, one of the links on the side says training. And if you click that, it'll take you into the next page, and we are in lesson 1 for training. Okay, so as that kind of loads and gets going, because I got a lot of things processing on my computer, pass my test, now what? Or you've decided to become an agent. What do you expect for your career in real estate? So these are things like, write down your goals, your aspirations. What are you doing? Why are you going to put yourself through this? Why are you going to get the no's? At the end of the day, what's your why? It's important to always have your why in front of you, to know why you're going through this and taking the time out of your schedule and trying to grow a company. You need to know what you're doing that for. So if you've never written your why down, like Bobby, do you have your why?
I'm not written down right here.
This is why we do a refresher course too. Because when you get hit with a bunch of no's and you go back and you're like, that's why. You know, I got to get my kids through college. I got to do this. I want a passion for helping people. Like whatever your why is, write it down so you can always go back. I just had a coaching meeting with mine, and we need to go and do core values for the company. Who are we as a company, and why are we going and growing and doing this? And at the end of the day, I want to reach out to you guys and get some input as far as what are the core values, why'd you join, and where do you think we're headed? Because that's my why. So your career in real estate, make no mistake, real estate is a face-to-face path to success. Uneven terrain, rocky slopes, harsh, unforgiving. In the light of unique challenges agents face, at no surprising that real estate has always been one of the highest turnover rates of any profession. A lot of people join with the aspirations of, yeah, I got my license, I'm going to make millions, I'm going to get so many happy clients, but they never actually break through into the business. And typically, yeah, don't sit on that. Thanks, Dad. In other words, for every experienced, successful agent, one agent out there starting over or just giving up. So you will see a lot of faces come through this business. We haven't had a whole lot of high turnover rate, but we can definitely see that like some people are going to succeed and some people are going to struggle. And unless they change their attitude and their mindset, they're going to continue to struggle, because this is a get out there, do the work type business. Just because you're sitting punching on a keyboard doesn't mean that you're going to get a paycheck or you're going to help a client. So a lot of the things just it require small tweaking, but we need to be aware of what those tweaks need to be, and then we'll go in and help you with that. Some qualities: self-starter, hardworking, enjoy the lifestyle. Yes, being a real estate agent is not a job, it is a lifestyle. This is a business that you're opening. Be familiar with the area that you work. What do you need to become successful? How do you distinguish yourself from other agents? How to start developing a list of clients and leads, which tools and technology you want to use for the business, what to expect for your first year, resources for continuing your real estate education, So develop personal expertise, like fill this stuff out. You're going to go through. This is kind of getting you on a path of like, why am I doing this business? Who am I going to do this business for? Am I going to attend meetings? Well, how often am I going to attend meetings? How am I going to secure clients? How many clients do I need to get? So a lot of this, read through this stuff. Good things to get in habit of: wearing a name badge when you're out in the public. Linda the other day was sitting having lunch. She was sitting with her husband having lunch, had her name badge on, and someone leaned over and said, "Hey, Linda, I need help selling my house." And she's like, "Do I know you?" "Oh, yeah, name badge. Cool. Here's my card." Wearing that name badge may get you one extra deal in a year, which means that puts $10,000, $15,000 on your gross profit at the end of the year. That's how you have to start thinking that this is not a job. I don't come to the office 9 to 5 to make this work. I need to become a walking billboard for what I do in order to get that one extra transaction a year. Because that one extra transaction literally may be making or breaking whether or not you stay in this or not. So simple little things like that can be the difference of whether you're going to succeed or not. Buying, shirts. Again, you're a walking billboard. Right now, real estate is all about, it's a face-to-face business. Don't be someone you're not. Always be you being you, but get out there and talk real estate. That's 90% of your job is going to be talking real estate. The 10% is going to be doing the transaction. You'll be surprised that the transaction is the easy part in this business. The talking real estate and getting the client and building a trusted advisor, that's the difficult part in our business. The transaction is the same. It's once you get the protocol and the process down, it's cakewalk. I mean, are they all the same that you closed?
Doesn't matter if it's 250 or a million.
It's all the same. So you'll start. Yeah.
Gary Brown, association president. But his car is just totally his name. The entire back of his car. On the real estate, contact information.
So it's
also
yes. Exposure is going to be huge, and then when you do exposure, you got to have at least the basics. But once you have the basics, what are you doing a little bit different than the other person? And it's that type of exposure which will get your phone to ring. Once your phone rings, are you confident to be able to convert that call into an actual appointment or a client? So these are all the steps that we're going to take you through. So at the end of the day, you're like, I got this. I understand the process. I'm good. Okay. Creating a personal brochure to tell prospective clients about yourself. I did a webinar. It's called Breakthrough Broker. It's a free process. You can contact Breakthrough Broker and you can create your self-promotion personal brochure. It's a great thing to add on to your business card. Have a couple 20, 25 in your trunk. And when you walk into a business, push yourself to be like, you know what, I'm going to give 5 brochures away today and I'm going to give 5 business cards away today. And I'm standing in a line at a restaurant and I'm going to ask the waitress, hey, do you mind if I leave a couple of these brochures on there? Or I'm at the car dealership. Do you mind if I leave some of these brochures? It doesn't matter. You're just getting it out there. You see a bulletin board, stick your brochure on there. Like it's that sort of stuff, that little extra effort that will start getting your name out there. Personalized brochures are great. If you start hosting open houses, if it's your listing, definitely. If you're hosting an open house for another agent, you leave your personal brochure during the open house, but go back and pick them up after the open house because you're not there to solicit you after the fact. It's the time that you're working in that avenue, in that window. Develop your own webpage. Get your branding started, get some ideas around that. Don's a great resource for that. Placing ads in the internet, newspaper, magazine, introducing yourself. So that's kind of the first step. If you haven't announced yourself or if you want to re-announce yourself in the public, hey guys, I am now a 1-year agent in this business. I've closed blank amount of transactions and I've done blank amount in gross commissions. I feel I've taken my business to the next level. That's a new announcement. Hey, I got my license and I'm excited to get started. I'm branding. I'm taking, I'm taking the boating world into the real estate world. Like whatever you want, how people want to view you as in this business, announce yourself. Business cards, personalized license plate, car signs. Are there any other ideas? So iPad, so on the back of your iPad, put a logo on there. You're sitting at Starbucks or whatever, and you got your business card on the back of the laptop as a laptop cover. Totally unique. Right now, you're a member of the Pismo Coast Association. You're also a member of the National Association, which means we're governed by some ethics and rules that we follow. Get yourself a nice camera. Start getting yourself some open house signs, maybe some flags, and a name writer. There's a company called Threadheads. They can do all of this stuff for you. But a good source of business are open houses. You're hosting open houses, whether you have a listing or you want to host an open house for another agent. You don't have to do it just on the weekend. Literally, you find yourself not doing anything and you're like, man, I want to get 1 or 2 clients. Go host an open house. People typically walk into that door, and right there is a potential person you can start talking real estate with, and bam, I got myself a client. Having those open house signs out in the world with your branding on it is a good way for you to start. That is the absolute best way of marketing, is signage. You can't, and when you get your signage, you want your phone number, you want your name, you don't want the company information, because then it's going to be branding me and it's going to be branding my phone number. But if you don't have open houses signs to use, I have a handful, but it's a first come, first served basis, and it does absolutely nothing for your branding. It does nothing for your advertising. What it does is host an open house for you. You don't get the signage that you want. So these are certain things to like start writing down of like, I need to budget for these because I'm going to ultimately need to get this stuff. When it comes to name writers, your name, phone number on the top, definitely when you get your first listing. A database for your clients. So we have the iHomeFinder database. You can use that for your lead management for the time being until your business gets a little too big that you need to get your own CRM. There's companies out there called Realty Juggler. It's $9 a month, and they're a great CRM for beginning to start out with. And I think it's $9 a month to do that. Your sphere of influence when starting out is probably your biggest source of business to market to. So sphere of influence could be anyone you've ever crossed paths that is going to know you on a first name basis, or possibly have mutual friends or anything like that. What you want to do with your sphere of influence, get an Excel spreadsheet, get a white pad, get a notepad. I want to say it's actually, do you have that in here, Dad? Just a place to take notes? No. Okay. Get like an Excel spreadsheet or a white piece of paper and just write their first names down. No other information. Just right off the tip of your head, just start going down, go through your phone, write down their first names. Then when you get to the end and you're like, I am absolutely out of resources, I can't think of a single person, then go back through your list and start filling in the blanks. All right, now I'm going to write their last name down. Now I'm going to go back and fill out their phone numbers for the ones that I have their phone numbers for. Now I'm going to go back and fill out their addresses, their email address. Then you can do this all on Excel. So then you can look across your thing and go, oh, I forgot this guy's email address. Now you can take the time to start researching that one email address that you're missing. It'll streamline the process and it'll help you get through it a lot quicker, instead of, oh, Joe Smith, okay, his address, then his name, and your mind all of a sudden wanders down and you take a half an hour to get all the information on Joe. And then you go to the next person, you're like, shoot, who was that other person I was thinking of? So it's important that you just put their first name down first. And everybody knows 250 people. If you think you don't, then start thinking outside the box. Thinking outside the box could be my hairdresser, the guy that does my oil. You do not judge anybody, because you'll be surprised that most everybody wants to talk about real estate or has some sort of real estate needs or a desire. It's like water. Everybody needs a home. Everybody needs a house to live in. So it becomes a necessity. This isn't something that you're selling that people don't typically need or have or want.
I'll tell you a story. This guy drives up in an old rat pickup. He's got torn jeans, overalls. He looks like a farmer. This is a big franchise company. When he walks in, nobody wants to say, don't give stuff to sit because they figured he doesn't have any money. But finally, one of the agents talked to him. And he ended up buying a ranch. And, it was a good day. It was a great day. But again, just like David says, don't judge people by their appearance or what they drive or how they talk. There's money out there for people by services.
Yeah. So with that said, it comes down to the same thing as, you know, you're making a list. Cool, I got my list. Once you have your list, make an announcement letter. Now there's sample letters in here that talk about an announcement of, hey, I'm announcing myself that I got my real estate license. Hey, I'm announcing myself because I'm proud of something that I did in my business. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you really announce, but what is your campaign? What are you trying to accomplish? So am I trying to get people to look at me, to call me about real estate? Am I trying to follow up with past clients and just really engage with the past client that I am their professional? So your announcement letter kind of drives that purpose. Set aside 2 to 3 hours a day prospecting. So once you have, I want to stay on this sphere of influence for a little bit. So before, after you leave today, I would say the very next, a good step for everybody for a source of business is the announcement. Try to do some sort of announcement. Give yourself a deadline. Hey, I'm going to start my sphere of influence letter, or I'm going to start my sphere of influence tomorrow. I'm going to give myself a week to finish my database, like who are my potential sphere of influence. And then by August 1st, I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to send an announcement out there. And when you do, let me know, because we can announce you on the company website as well. We can announce you in our network to let people know that there's new people joining the company and this is what's going on and yada, yada, yada. So a good source of business right now, take it for a grain of salt, but do your announcements. It tends to work. It will get your phone to ring. People will engage with you and say, oh, that's awesome. Good job. Got your license. Yeah.
Can I add something to
Yep.
your things here?
Yep.
When you are contacting all those people, it may pay dividends to ask them if they know of anyone that wants to buy or sell. Or not just ask them, but actually ask that question, because that could open up the door to.
Boom. Asking for the referrals. You do have to ask for this business. You can't just assume they're going to be like, you're my best friend now and I'm going to give you all my, no, you got to ask for it. Unless you want to sit back and wait for your phone to ring, which will never happen, you need to ask for it. And asking for the business doesn't have to be a scary thing at all. It's, hey, I'm excited. I got my license. Not only do I want to help you, but who else can I help in this industry? Who else do you know? You want me to succeed, right? Awesome. I need a number right today. I don't need a lot. I need one. I need one number. Come on, Joe. You want me to succeed, don't you? Go through your phone and give me one number. You can do that. That's a little aggressive, but you can't. It works. I'm not getting off the phone, Joe, until you give me a number. All right. It's leveraging your relationships is what you're doing. That's exactly what Ben was talking about. Make a list of everyone. So this goes through exactly what I was just saying. Make a list of everyone, first name first, and then go back and start filling in the gaps. It'll help you get this done a lot quicker. Once you start doing that, expand your list to organizations, to local groups, to PTA, to Chamber of Commerce, like anyone that you've had cross paths with. Start thinking outside the box. Money matters. So figure out what you want to do for a budget before you start anything. Hey, I only want to spend 25 bucks on this. I don't want to do a big budget. Well, that's going to dictate how you get the announcement out there. You might not mail it at that point. You might have to do a social media, or you might have to hand deliver, which would take a lot of time. But if these are close sphere of influences, this is a good way to have a one-on-one face-to-face. Don't make it just about real estate. You can reach out and be like, I haven't talked to you in a while, blah, blah, blah. Hey, have you also realized I got my license? Would you agree that like a nice professional letter is a good way to send stuff out? Okay. You throw a nice letterhead on there, stick it in the mail. That's a good way to get your name out there.
Is it online?
Yeah. Start figuring out your budget up front. How much do I want to invest in my real estate career before, because this is a business. So waiting around, if my budget is not, I don't want to invest a lot of my money, but I want to invest a lot of my time, then you're going to be doing a lot of activities that require sweat equity. Making phone calls, knocking on doors, talking to people is sweat equity. Spending money is like advertising, Facebook ads, postcards. I mean, this is where you get creative. Doorknob hangers that hang on people's doors. I mean, at the end of the day, your product, your people are neighborhoods now. You need to start looking at, when you drive neighborhoods, this is my product. This is what I sell, and how can I sell this product better than someone else? So when I look across, like when I walk outside, I don't see just, oh, I don't know that person. I see a potential client. And the first 5 people I see are all potential clients to me. When I walk into Foster's Donuts, those are potential clients. Like Sam is a potential agent that's going to come over here. When I go to McDonald's, I see potential homeowners that probably need waiters. Perfect example. They file their taxes so jacked because they don't want to show that they have money on their schedule, and so they always hide their money. I see them as a potential, I need to help you understand that what you're doing is jeopardizing your future, because you're not going to be able to ever own a home or get into the pride of ownership because of the way that you're filing taxes. And no one has probably ever taken the time to explain that to you, that this is a preparation that we need to start getting prepared. I love waiters because they make good salary, they make good money, but they don't know how to file their paperwork correctly because they don't want to pay taxes. And they're ultimately shooting themselves in the foot when they get in later on in life.
You know, you got to watch these.
Yes, they can.
And they don't need fun. They need
Yep.
to get away with fun.
Again, try not to judge, but I look at that as an opportunity. Like, I don't look at that, you're my waiter. I'm like, this is a potential client that I feel I could probably help educate if there's something there, but I have to start that conversation first. That's what I mean by when I'm walking out in the world, those are potential clients because they live somewhere. They have a roof over their head somewhere. And if they don't, then I need to help them get a roof over their head. Okay. When will I start?
I hate feeling like when you're talking to people and not communicating with them, I hate having that cloud over your head of people feeling like you have an alternative.
So have it right out in the front and don't hide it.
And a lot of, and I'll tell you right now, I'm a local business owner, I'm born and raised in this area. A lot of realtors have that stigmata already over their heads. Why?
Because of this.
Because we do have an alternative.
Yeah, I want to help you buy or sell property.
And the challenge for me is to how can you minimally invasive go in and not offend somebody and trying to sell yourself.
If you offend somebody, it means that you're not offering value. You're being a salesperson and you're not being a trusted advisor. So that's where a shift in mindset needs to change. Is I'm not a salesperson. I want to be your trusted advisor for your real estate transactions. You're going to need somebody in your court when you go through this real estate world, and I want to be that guy. Now, here's what I can offer you that's value, and this is how I can work with you to achieve those goals. That's me. That's as salesy as I get, but at the end of the day, it's you need to buy this right now, and I need you to sign on the paper. Like, that's not what you're going to. That would be offensive. That would be piss people off. And that's not what you're going to learn over here. And that's the mindset of changing trusted advisor versus salesperson. Yes, I want to help you buy and sell real estate, but that doesn't mean that I'm in it for the 2% or 2.5%. I want your kids to come to me. I want their kids' kids to come to me. I want to build a referral network because this is my business, and I build clientele that are trusted in my bubble. You only need 250 clients loyal to you to make a living out of this. You don't need the whole world. 250 people that are loyal to you would get you over $100,000 salary all day long. It's like St. Pat's is a great resource for me. That is one of my only spheres of influence. But I service those people by doing the best I can and putting their needs in front of my own, and that's how I get return business. So there's a difference there on how you approach it. And if you're
bothered by it as you are, because I've always been blown away by like the businesses that people do, like the jeans parties, the jewelry parties, all these sales things, and people buy into it.
Yeah.
They're not bothered by it. They don't feel like they're being sold to by it, but they're being sold on remember by their friends and family.
Yeah.
If anything, they appreciate the opportunity and like to deal. That's a big thing I've overcome is this person going to sign me up immediately because I bring up the fact that I'm going to be your agent, or there's just a product to me, or there's an opportunity.
Yeah,
So
you have to
find
build.
ways to deal with that mentally, or you have different experiences other than that. Feel free to talk to me about it. 'Cause
You're going through the same thing?
for me to overcome.
Is the ulterior motive aspect?
Yeah, just a mechanic, they come in really like me, but then to say, hey, do you do anything with real estate or whatever, all of a sudden he's no longer that friend, he's now just some guy I'm trying to sell to. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know
think
that.
if he likes you for who you are,
Yeah.
That's the relationship.
If you don't change who you are,
Yeah.
you're going to get him as a client bonus because he already has a relationship with you.
Yeah.
He respects you. But I guess where I was going with that little blog was that, from my experience of growing up, and all my family's been in real estate, I know a lot of brokers and real estate agents in this whole area that have been in it for 40 years plus. And a lot of them come across to me as everything they're saying to me, there's an ulterior motive tied into that.
Yeah.
To try to either get somebody that I know that wants to buy or sell, or something along those lines of where it's going to benefit them. And they're doing it very manipulatively, like you don't want me to use.
Yeah, that's a red flag word in our industry.
But it is. But there is a lot of manipulation. You want to agree?
Everybody has their own approach. I'm on my interior motives are on my sleeves.
Right.
I'm right out in front. Hey,
Yeah.
I am an agent. I'm proud of being an agent. This is what I do for a living, and I'd love to be able to help you.
I respect that.
That's why I get the response that I typically get, because it's not, hey, I'm trying to be fake and I want to be your friend because I want you to do business with me and I'm going to be whatever you want me to be so I can get your business.
Yeah.
No, because people see through that and you'll get shut down every time, or they won't treat you as a trusted advisor. They'll treat you as a salesperson and be like, you're going to cut your commission and you're going to do all this stuff for me and there's no loyalty there and I'm going to jump ship and go use my sister because I have a relationship with them at the end of the day. This business is all about relationship. You can't get past that. So I don't want you to change who you are, but you have to be proud that you're taking the time to learn stuff that they don't know. And you have to be proud at the fact that I can help you get past these hurdles in real estate because I've done the education to get there. And I want to be the trusted advisor because I don't want you to get taken advantage of out in this world because it is an ugly industry and people will do whatever they need to do to make a sale at the end of the day. But I won't, and that's not what we're learning over here, and that's not what we're going to do. And at the end of the day, I want to do what's best for you. So if that means not having the sale because you're not prepared for it, then what are the hurdles to get you prepared? Because I'm not going to put you in a house that you're going to end up losing in 2 years because you can't afford it. And that comes down to the trust. And that comes down to the relationship that you build with people and the reputation that you put behind you. So if for any reason you have a guilty conscience or question yourself on like, how am I talking? Because the word manipulative makes people look at you or judge you going, if he's feeling that he's manipulating me, why would he feel that unless he is? So you got to change your mindset of like, I'm not trying to manipulate you, but be candid. Be upfront. Like I am trying to earn your business, but I want to earn it. And I want to earn it through being your trusted advisor. I want to earn it through giving you good advice in the real estate world. So I think as you start learning, you'll take a little bit more, you'll appreciate all the stuff that you have because you've taken the time to learn it and you'll want to share that with the world. You'll want to share that with your friend, or it will start upsetting you because you'll see a friend going through a transaction and you're like, oh, if they use me, they wouldn't be going through this pain that they're going through right now. And it frustrates me that I failed in communicating that to them, that I could have done a better job. And I need to pick up where I left off and make my presentation better so people understand what I have to offer versus others. And that's where you won't realize that you're selling, but really you are. You're selling yourself on why people should do business with you. But you also have to, whatever you sell, who you are as a character, you have to follow through with that. And that comes down to reputation, which then comes down to getting that testimonial so others can see what you've done or what other clients think about you. So there's a big circle here. And at the end of the day, you have to do it because that's the business. Like, you have to talk to people, and people become your clients, and their houses become your products. And there's no other way around that, because that is the industry we're in. We're selling or helping them get into another house, or helping them with their portfolio. How long should I expect to work and when? I could put stuff down on paper all day long, but at the end of the day, everybody is different. Everybody's personality is different. Everybody's network is different. Everybody's sphere of influence is different. Initially, when you first start off, you're going to start off with your sphere of influence, because those are relationship type people. But eventually that sphere of influence is going to run out. And so then you have to start learning how to farm. And by farming is basically keeping your sphere of influence healthy, because you're going to farm by going out and talking to people and getting people to engage with you. And then you're going to take that contact and move it over here where you're going to stay in touch with them. Whether you stay in touch aggressively, like, hey, you're going to categorize people as, this person is active, so in the next 30 to 90 days, they're going to buy real estate, or this person's a potential future client, which means I'm going to put them on my mailer. I'm going to put them on my newsletter. I'm going to follow up with them once a quarter and just touch base. But I want to make sure that I stay in front of them somehow. How long does that take you to do? How efficient are you? I mean, this is not a job. So some people say, I want to work 9 to 5 as a real estate. This is not a time card type thing. So, you can one day literally pick up the phone, and the very first phone call you get is somebody that goes, oh my God, I have been thinking about moving. It's like, I just got myself a client, like, holy geez. Or it could take you 100 of those phone calls before you get someone that says yes. The thing is if you're consistently getting the same answer every time, then maybe there's a tweak that needs to happen in your dialogue. And we're just going back and we're changing that. And that's you keeping track of what you do. So then you can track how many times did I do this before I got my yes? And we can make sure that you're within the average realm of, like, you should be getting a yes after, internet leads, 140 leads. You get an internet lead, you're going to talk to 40 people before you get a yes, which means you're going to get 39 yos. You quit on 38, it's like, you were close. So that is a mindset. Separating from the pack. Knowledge typically separates you from the pack. So not only knowing your industry and learning about contracts and learning about protection, how do you protect your client? How do you write a contract that is in favor of getting accepted? These are things that are techniques that you start learning as you start coming to class, but also start expanding your knowledge to a lender base, making sure you understand the basics in the finance world. Expanding your knowledge to the escrow base. Make sure you know your knowledge of escrow trainings and preliminary reports and kind of the process of that. Understanding your territory. Do you know Trilogy? Do you know product out there? Do you know Grover Beach? Do you know things that are happening in Pismo Beach with the city council? What they're planning on doing for changes down in Pismo Beach? Understanding your territory gives you a little bit more knowledge of it. So when you're talking, you're able to express that these are the things that I'm learning. Follow up, be persistent, be smart, be remembered. Whenever you're talking to someone, do something that makes them remember you. Hey, I got a magnet, stick it on your fridge. It's silly, cheesy things. My dad used to put toenail clippers with his name on it.
That's a good one.
You did. Knives, pen. Dude, 5 years later, actually last year, this year, you got a call from a guy that had your business card on his fridge from like 6 years ago. Magnet on the fridge from 6 years.
I like the idea of matchboxes.
Dude, bottle cap openers, if you're there. Women love candles. You can have the logo imprinted on the candle. Whenever you do, think of something that's going to last. It's not a one-time use. So they do it one time and then they throw it away. That doesn't do anything for you. But if you can get your embroidery or something on that's going to last for a long time. I give a potted plant. On the bottom of my potted plant, I burned in Hubbell Real Estate Group and made it all nice. And now this is a decorative piece at their house, but on the backside, my name and number is always there. So if they ever down the road forget and they go, oh, who was that agent? Oh yeah, he gave me the plant. Boom, there it is. You do have to think that way because this is branding, this is marketing. It's not a one-time deal. You want to get a bang for your buck. Have an objective. Don't just reach out. Don't just touch base. Have a reason why you're doing it. And it's not that you have an ulterior motive. Be candid on what your objection is. Hey, I'm reaching out because we hadn't talked in a while, but I also wanted to let you know things that are going on in my industry, and I also wanted to know what's going on in your world. If you're truly calling because you do care about your clients, that's not an ulterior motive. It's we haven't talked in a long time. What's going on in your world? This is what's going on in mine. I just wanted to be top of mind. I wanted you to remember me. I want to talk to you because we haven't talked in the last 4 months. Whether that's through email, text, I'll tell you right now, video is starting to be huge. I hate to say it, but you got to get familiar with it because getting on video and sending emails out via video, sending videos out via text message, having a YouTube page of things that you're doing in the industry, inviting people to come look at your YouTube page. These are things that people actually get a kick out of. They're sitting in bed at 11 o'clock at night and they're like, what's Kevin been up to? He's been hitting me up. Yeah, let's click on his link. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is cheesy. Yeah, this is funny though. This is good. Wow, look at him. He's really taking this serious. Good for him. Boom, you got yourself somebody that goes, I want to do business with you because I trust you, but I can see the effort you're putting into growing your business. I want to do business with you. That can be everything that you do in this industry. You can do a video about. Hey, I'm headed out to go look at my first vacant house. I'm excited about it. Hope I don't lock myself out of the house. Like, give you an update on how it goes. Hey, I'm on the top deck right now and I locked myself out of the house. Watch me scurry down this chimney, Dad, to get down. Hey, client, can you hold the phone while I climb down the roof?
Everybody has stories. Everybody has.
Dad locked himself out of the house with a client on the second story on a balcony.
Door.
You did too?
Yeah.
Door shut behind you.
With a latte, I jumped down the second wave and
It happens. So I've heard horror stories. You open up the bedroom and someone's in there and you're like, oh, sorry, the bathroom, and someone's in there. That's why I teach you when you go to show a property. Hubbell Real Estate, hello. You walk into the house, there's a shut door to a bathroom. You don't just open it, you start all over again. You knock and you open it because they might not hear you.
They're right on the subject.
Okay.
Just some courtesy things that realtors do. For instance,
Okay.
you make an appointment with a real estate agent for some reason. Return calls I get back. I just had that one last week. I tried to. I called all three of my tenants. Left the building. Found they were showing. Doesn't show up. So be courteous, do that. I never show a house with another agent that was inside the house. Wait outside. Get your turn.
Now it's fine to go inside, knock on the door. Agent comes to the house. Hi, I'm Kevin with Hubbell Real Estate. Here's my card. Hey, good to see you. You know, I'm going to stand outside and just prep and talk with my client. 10, 15 minutes. What do you think the showing is so I can let them know? Awesome. Yeah, have a good showing. No big deal. Just following right behind you. Want to let you know that we're here. Perfect. Thank you.
Don't talk about price when the owners of the home over there. I've had this happen. They're in a caravan. I'm showing my house. Caravan's coming in. The lawyer says, "Oh my gosh, he's got this price so low." Because I make you look in front of my client. It's my price to sell. I'll tell you what. My price is to sell. Don't do that.
So everybody's going to have an opinion. Now, whether or not your opinion, everybody has an opinion. You know, and as you start doing this business more, your ego gets bigger, and which means your opinion gets more heard, and your ego keeps going and your opinion goes up too. So if your client's standing there and you have an agent, would you appreciate someone coming by and giving their opinion of how you did? No, it would piss you off. And it would start making that agent or that client second guess your ability, all because of an opinion that another agent had. Don't be that person that does that. Have the courtesy to know that this isn't your listing. So what you say doesn't matter because they hired this guy to do an analysis. Because at the end of the day, the market's going to set pricing. The market's going to, you don't know what the seller's needs or wants were when he sat down with the client. It's etiquette. Etiquette. Thank you. When you show a property, good etiquette is to leave your business card. So maybe have 2 sets of business cards, ones that are really cheesy that you get 1,000, 2,000 of them for $30, and then you have your nice ones that you give out to your client. These are the ones I do when I go show property, so I'm not blowing through my cash. And these are ones that these are my nice ones that are in my wallet at all times. You show a property, you leave your business card on the counter. Because if you were the seller and you had people come through, would you want to know who's in your house? One, is it right that, if you were the listing agent, would you want feedback from that? If someone showed your property, would you want to get feedback so you can tell your seller, this is the feedback that I'm getting from the general public? Probably. So as you're showing property, it's also a courtesy to give feedback, or, hey, if you really want to build your reputation as an awesome agent amongst your peers, you take the initiative, and right when you're done showing the property, you call as you're walking out there. Hey, I just want to give you a quick feedback. House looked nice, smelled a little funky, but I think you priced it well. You might want to, it's a nice home. Appreciate the showing. Thanks. Boom, you're out. You do that, your name will start spreading amongst the agents in the community going, this guy knows his stuff. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing and keeping everybody informed.
And double check the lights and doors.
Yeah.
So they're locked.
This is not a win-lose industry. It does not have to be a battle against your other agent, another peer. Just because you guys, you're gonna run, and typically 9 times out of 10, it's ego. It's the agents having an ego, and it has nothing to do with the buyer and seller. He's a jerk. He's a jerk. He's a jerk. He's a jerk.
He's talking about me. I had a conversation with an agent the other day.
So, at the end of the day, put your clients in front of your own needs.
And he was a jerk.
All right. So he called and I said, you just wasted 10 minutes of my life that I'll never get back to tell you that it's all ego from what I'm hearing. All right. So with that said, and know that.
And okay, that Showtime app, the Showtime deal that's out now works incredibly. If you don't know about it, it's on the MLS deal.
Showtime is a app on the Matrix. It's a free service because you guys are part of Matrix, and agents are starting to use it more and more because it's a newer app. And when you're in the Matrix, you go to links, and down under links, it'll say Showtime. I talked with Kevin about it a little bit, but you'll start seeing when you're looking at property on the MLS, it'll say showing instructions. And under showing instructions, we'll have a little link that says Showtime. If you click on that, you could actually request your appointment right there, and that request will go to the homeowner. The homeowner will approve it, and the agent. They'll approve it. It'll come back to you with you have been approved to show this property. So it's a very streamlined. If you have a listing and you're like, dude, I'm tired of my phone ringing, and then I have to turn around and call the client, and then call back, call the agent, give them the okay. You activate the Showtime app, and now you have a documented way to your client can communicate with the general public without giving your client's information out in the world. Because in your Showtime app, you tie their phone number, their email address into it. So when the buyer's agent is in the MLS and they click the button, I want to set up a showing, that request goes to your client, but they didn't get any of the client's information. And the client gets a text message, oh, I have a showing request at 10 o'clock. Yeah, I want to approve that. Boom. That approval goes back to the buyer's agent and tells them you're good to come and show the property at 10 a.m. And it CCs you as the agent.
And then what's good is after it's over with, there's a little, you get an email that says, real quickly go through and tell me what you thought about it.
It asks, so then it follows up with the buyer's agent and requests.
I'm just, the past 4 days, David, dumbfounded with the technology and how it's changed.
Well,
It's blow your mind. If you just,
I mean, it's almost making it easier.
it is.
it is, it's going that way. Yeah.
And that's why what's going to set us apart is not only that we know how to use the technology correctly, our knowledge base of how to write and counter offers that becomes a lean towards getting accepted. Trying to put ourselves in a seller's shoes of understanding needs and wants. So when we're writing our offer, it doesn't always have to be about price, but terms and how we write it. And the fact that we write it correctly gives this agent the ability and the stress relief that the other agent on the other end knows what they're doing. So I can relieve that I'm not going to have a wild, wild west agent, someone that just makes their rules up as they go. They follow the rules because they use the correct forms, because they use the correct verbiage, because they wrote their offer correctly. And that goes a long ways when dealing with other agents when they see. And it's fine that you're new, and it's fine that you can throw it out there. Hey, I had this conversation the other day with an agent. I said, you know, this is our intent. This is what we're trying to do. I don't cross this very often. We're trying to pull in an assignment that we wanted to write the offer with the ability to bring in 2 partners, but we're not sure if these partners are going to do it or not. So we just want the ability to be able to do that in the transaction. It's an assignment letter. And I was like, I don't cross this all the time. How would you prefer that I write this? What would you recommend? What form? And she went, you know, I've done this once or twice. I use the EATL acronym, and then I explained, and yeah, and we just had an open conversation about it. And I said, okay, and yeah, that sounds good. I researched it, cool. And so when I sent my offer over, it was with the intent of exactly what I was trying to do that we had talked about, and she was able to be on the same page with me. That sort of conversation sets us apart than most brokerages teach you guys what to do, because it's not always about you. There's a whole lot of people in this transaction. You got a buyer, seller, their agent, your agent, lenders, this and that. It doesn't have to be a win-lose transaction.
Sounds like really good communication.
Communication is key.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I like how you ask how they feel about it. That's
Yeah.
huge right there.
Well, and they give me their response.
When they explain it to their client, even though they're doing this is why they're doing that. The seller can go, that doesn't bother me. Let's accept that one as opposed to this. That's huge.
And if they give me bad advice back, at least now I have a open discussion on why. Well, I don't know if that's the best direction. What are your thoughts on this? And we just have open dialogue. Day in the life of a real estate. All right, I'm not going to really go over this. This is kind of, okay, well, wow, we got through that in about an hour. Never stop learning. All right, so continually coming to these type of classes. The rest of section 1 or lesson 1 has some scripts in there, has the lessons, has scripts. Scripts are purely, I am an advocate of scripts. You would hear me on the phone. And even I've had agents come over and go, oh, dude, you nailed that conversation. I went, that's because of my scripts. And she goes, I could hear it when you talked. The way you flowed, some of the questions you asked are literally right out of the book. And I said, it is, because it's in my head with an arsenal of, this is the direction the client is taking me down. So I need to get this information from them. And the best way to do that is by asking it this way. Direct questions. That becomes muscle memory. It's like working out. And I do my scripts every morning because I get my head on right of like, if a buyer calls me today that I've never met, I need to be able to get this information from him so I can guide him on if this is the best direction for him. So I need to find out his time frame of when he's wanting to move. I need to find out if he has to sell a home first before he moves. I need to find out what sort of, how far he's gotten in his financial endeavor, his venture getting financing, because he may need recommendations. I need to know all this stuff so I can service him better by giving him recommendations if he doesn't have stuff lined up. I need to understand his thought process of the buying process. And if there's stuff that is incorrect or yeah, is he working? Like, what's his intent? What's his intent with me? So there is scripts that go through, and it's not that I read my scripts exact. It's that I practice them, so it's muscle memory. I could just pull that dialogue out of my brain at a moment's notice and keep going. So I encourage you, I do script reading every morning, and it has different topics every morning. And some of the topics are the buying process, online conversions, how to talk with FSBOs, how to talk with expireds, objection handling, things like that. And you just find yourself getting better and better at dialogue. Okay. Next, step outside your office and find an agent you're most successful and visible in your area. Do research. Oh, that's good advice. Find someone that you admire in this industry that you're like, man, they're killing it. They're doing well. They have great reputation. I enjoy working with them. I've had business or I've had contact with them before. Find out what they're doing and pull a couple things out of their business that you think you would love doing too, and try to become a master at those. So view, huh?
We're looking at it.
I'm an open book. I'll show you everything I do. One, get on a calendar. Time block your day from real estate versus personal versus other business. Give yourself an objection of like, I'm going to work my real estate business at this time, at this day, and then take it down to the level, what are you going to do during that time? This is my calendar. So today there were 8 big things that had to happen today. Next level training, then I have a meeting with Morgan, then I have an outdesk interview, then I have another interview. But this is the calendar for the whole month. And now my calendar is going to change on a daily basis, but every Sunday, I sit down every Sunday with my wife and I go from Sunday to Saturday, what are we trying to get done this week? And I want to put those big projects right out in the front. And I want to make sure that I block a time that this is my big objection this week. I want to get this done. This has been on my brain for too long. I want it out of the way. And you'll hear us, we'll bicker. Like right now, the new agent hire packet is my big push this week. I want it done by Friday. She wants it off her plate. Dad wants me out of his hair. Let's get this done by Friday.
It seems like you're on it.
But it can be more efficient. It can be better. It's always checks and balances to make things better, to make it more efficient. When you have multiple people with their hands in the cookie jar, you need to make sure everybody is getting their job done correctly and efficiently. So right now, yeah, it may seem like everything is great, but there's a lot out there, and we're trying to pull it in and go, oh shoot, we forgot that. Like I forgot to add you on the Google Calendar because, and then you reached out and it was like, oh, that is a great thing we should add on our checklist when we hire a new agent. Make sure that they get the events immediately.
I remember that. It's from when we initially spoke that you were so impressed with Google Calendar and how it all correlates with Gmail.
Yeah, so eventually you would have made it on there, but it could be, it's a simple task that if we had a checklist, when we were adding you in our email, we would have added you right then and there. And so having that checklist is amazing. Checklists are awesome. Time blocking is probably the most important thing you can do. And giving yourself, all right, I'm going to do my announcement letter. I'm going to sit down and do my sphere of influence. I'm going to write out my sphere of influence by this day. I'm going to write my announcement letter by this day, and I'm going to have this project done by this day. And I don't care how long, it can take you 2 months for all it matters, but giving yourself a deadline and a goal and then following through and doing it, and then giving yourself some credit that you followed through and did something, and give yourself a pat on the back. Hey, I got something done. Kudos to me. And then letting the public know, hey, I gave myself a deadline. I got it done. You guys should be getting my announcement letter. I'm excited that I got that done. Those are the little small wins in life that like, cool, I got something out of my way. The next step. So that is definitely the first thing. Tomorrow is going to be contract training. So leveling up your education on the RPA, how to write an offer. Mikey, tomorrow's contract training on RPA. If you want to freshen up on offers, don't know, you're kind of a superstar already. So,
Have you guys met Mikey?
okay.
No,
Mikey.
Mikey is a team leader here. She is a top producer this month. I think he did 4 transactions last month.
Man and Kevin.
And Bobby. You get no kudos this month. You're not top producer. He's an old time top producer, but you know, not this month. He's old news. He was last month.
Zip it line.
Try to keep it fun around here.
David, I noticed that.
Yeah.
You downloaded this off the calendar.
Yeah, just this morning.
Perfect.
So it doesn't have the letters or the.
We're working through that. Yeah, so we're gonna rescan this. Yeah, it's gonna be rescanned and back in there. So if you ever go in here, I'll add the letters and scripts in there. Probably by the end of the week, I'll have the rest. This was just.
It allowed me to go through it page to page under the website. Just FYI.
Let's see. Before I do that,
Let me stop recording so this doesn't just keep going.